group. And then
what's up, Facebook?
We're here. I wonder if everybody thinks you're just a ventriloquist or that I'm a ventriloquist, Jai, and you're just and then all of a sudden, like, there's this voice.
Here.
There he is. He's here. But it's kind of fun when you're in the background and neither Sean and I aren't saying anything. It's just like, where is he?
What?
Who is he?
Where'd that go? Yeah. Where'd that come from?
There's a ghost. There's a ghost in my computer. All right. Let me find this out here.
This list, I had an earbud in and it's doing nothing. Just in my ear for like an hour.
Oh,
it's not even connected to a phone. It's not connected to my computer. Nothing. It's just there.
Yeah. I mean, it's because you never know.
You never know when you need it.
Might need it later. Future Sean's going to want that earbud. All right. Here we are. We're live. Let me change the privacy of this so I can make it public so that y'all can share it and cool stuff like that. Welcome everybody. Let's make a radio show. Jai, you ready to make this thing a radio show?
Yep.
I'm ready to make this a radio show. All right, I'm going to give you the signal. Are you ready for me to give you the signal?
Yes.
All right, here we go. This is we're doing this. Welcome to Happy Hour, brought to you by Best Damn Bookkeeping. Oh, what happened? The audio. Now it's better. Do we really know if the music's working? If Angela's not here to dance? We don't know.
We don't know.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows if the music is working.
Wait.
How we know?
That's better.
Except you're the one playing the music.
Oh yeah.
Can we really trust you? Oh, what's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. Ron's getting invisible over there. That's
cool. Man.
Dude, just being weird. Sarah's in the house. What's up, Sarah? Sarah, tell Skip to get back to work. What's he doing over there? Pop, pop, pop. Oh, I do like this music. Did you ever think about having like just if music played while you walked around, what it would be? Like a Sean theme song?
I never thought about that. I have a hard time focusing on one genre, let alone one song. Like if you listen to what I listen to, I got everything on there. I got Waylon Jennings, I got Frank Sinatra, I've got the Three Tenors, I've got classical, I've got all kinds of stuff, man.
But I feel like you can't walk around to that. Like it would be cool. And maybe like certain vibes, it would be cool to have like some Frank Sinatra playing. There could be some times.
There's some times, definitely.
Yeah. I was just figured like some AC/DC yelling in my background.
I can dig that too. I can dig that, man. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I feel like that would do the trick for me. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? So I'm gonna start practicing actually introducing our show and introducing our people and saying what we're up to. This is like a thing that a lot of podcast hosts do, and I never do. I'm usually just like, what's up, everybody? Let's talk about business stuff. Here we go. But I had this transgression. I don't know if that's the right word, but it's the word I'm going with, and you guys are all just gonna have to deal with it. Had a couple different like potential sponsors for the show that wanted to sponsor, which is just cool in general. But a couple of them I was just like, nah. Now a potential one where I'm like, yeah, that like their stuff, I would feel positive about supporting their stuff. And if you guys don't know me well enough already, like I am just not in this thing for the money. Like money's cool. We'll make some of it doing the things that we do. But it's just not a motivator for me to like go do more stuff. And so hence the reason why I don't have any sponsors for the show besides Best Damn Bookkeeping and Higher Lead Chill. And if Michael Gregory were on here, Click, Call, Sell. And when Angela's on here, Unique Genius VAs, like the sponsors of the show are the people that dedicate their time to helping all of you guys and dropping knowledge for you. Those are the sponsors of the show, brought to you by, because they're literally here bringing you value and education. Nobody pays us to put on a show. For sure, I've thought this for a while, and then I'm going to introduce the show because I'm doing this thing again where I just start going, and I didn't actually introduce the show yet. But I think if a beer company wanted to sponsor us, I wouldn't be very picky about it. I'd be like, send me some of your beers and I'll drink them, and then we good. That's a really easy sponsorship. And it could be a beer everybody knows about. It could be a beer nobody knows about, and it'd still be a good sponsorship for the show. But if it's a sponsor of like things that we all use, right? Like a software thing or a labor, or like anything that we'd all use as a vendor, I'm just way more leery about having them sponsor the show because I don't want to just rep something. I don't want to rep them if I've never used them. I don't want to rep them if I've had bad experiences with them, right? I don't want to go sell a bunch of shit to a bunch of people and promote something that I don't believe in. So I've just always had this like big screen up. Like I don't want to promote stuff that I don't know, like, and trust and believe in. So anyway, that all said, if you're new to Home Service Happy Hour, what we got going on here is more of like, it's your panel style radio show on Turf's Up Radio. So welcome to Happy Hour. And then every Wednesday night, we do more of a like one-on-one late night happy hour show with me and a business owner. We are missing a bunch of our panel today, Sean. I feel it's been a long time since it's been just a Sean and Dan. It's been a while since we just had
It's been a long time. Been a long time. We talked about doing a webinar coming up here in the next few weeks, maybe. But yeah, I don't know. I don't remember last time we were not on purpose, just two of us trying to do some things. It's weird.
Yeah. We'll see how we do. Everybody let us know how we're doing. We'll see how we do. But if you're new to the show, I'd like to have this show kind of an open format, getting your feedback, right? Like this isn't me interviewing Sean. This isn't Sean interviewing me. This is what's working for you guys, what's not working for you guys, and how can we help you out? And so as obviously we typically have a panel and not everybody can make it today, but I like to have panelists from different exposures, right? I'm a bookkeeping nerd. True that. Sean's a hiring and recruiting nerd. When Michael Gregory's on here, he's our marketing nerd. Angela's the VA nerd. JC comes in with some color commentary, but also helps Angela with that business. And JC runs Sales Boost and has his own operating companies as well. So I like to have those different spaces represented to help you guys out, right? So when you're bouncing around and asking questions, we can do that. The late night show is more of a Joe Rogan style, just interviewing one person and going down every rabbit hole we can possibly go down and having some fun doing it. So that said, let me throw this out there because I never do this either, which is like, if you're watching this thing, give it a like, because we're having fun here talking about business stuff. And if you catch this later and you're like, oh, I wish I got to like catch it live and then like interact with it, for the love of God, go get the podcast. It's out on all the podcast places. So go and hit the thing that, I don't know. It's not do you follow podcasts now? There's a button that changes every once in a while about how you interact with the podcast, but click the thing so it shows up in your podcast.
What's that thing? I'm watching a video and at the end of it, the dude that's on it is like, and ring the bell. What is there a bell?
I think
somewhere. What is that?
So that's for YouTube.
That's for YouTube. And so like you can subscribe and the bell is to turn on notifications so that you get notified when they drop some new content.
Nice.
I'll never don't ring my bell. I don't want you to ring my bell. But go subscribe because we got a YouTube channel as well. Yeah, Skip's on it. So yeah, get out on whatever pod right now. Do this right now while I'm talking. Right now, I'm gonna give you time because I'm just jabbering. Open up your podcast screen and then go find the Home Service Happy Hour podcast. I'm bringing this up now because Jai and I were looking at this data, and when I had the old Bookkeeping Beer and BS podcast, we would do like 3,000+ downloads a month, and I just haven't been thinking about it for this podcast because I'm just doing this because I'm having fun. Zig Scott, Scott. But we don't have the same level of downloads, which just tells me there's tons of people out there that don't know that I started a new podcast, and it's obviously the same as the old podcast, even better. Because we just keep getting better at doing this thing. But if you're out there and you're like, oh yeah, I used to listen to Bookkeeping Beer and BS, like, well, no shit, because now you're here listening to this. But go download this podcast. That way, if you don't get to hang out with Sean and I live and the rest of the panel and whatever else we're doing live, which by the way, I like it when you guys are here interacting. Like this is more fun than if you just listen to the podcast later. Zig, I know Zig catches the podcast later, so he just said right now, sup guys, no time to listen to this one, just wanted to say hello. Sean chiming in from YouTube. He's fast. He's like in multiple places at once. But do me that favor.
I'm looking for the bell, man. I'm looking for the bell. I don't know where the hell it is.
That bell's got to be around here somewhere. But just do me a solid. Go download the podcast. Get on the follows of that. Go check out the YouTube channel. Partially do it for me. What's up, Eric? Good to hear from you, man. Been a while. Jai, we're doing that thing where we both get excited.
It's a tug of war again.
Yeah, I can't help myself. I'm just like, Eric, what's up? But yeah, do me a favor for my ego and go like follow the podcast and then give it the 5-star thing and just go subscribe to YouTube. I don't care if you've watched it ever. Just go subscribe so it looks cool. And that way, if I do get a sponsor, and like I said, I'm going back and forth with a potential sponsor, and they're actually somebody that I believe in and I think they do good stuff, so I'm entertaining it. That way I can tell them our data's better. That's all. That's all. I want them to feel like they're getting a good return. I want them to feel like they're getting in front of enough people. So do it for me, for them. Does that make sense? Do it for me, for them.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, it makes sense.
Yeah. Anyway, welcome to Home Service Happy Hour. What's up, Sean Day, HireLeadChill.com? How you doing, man?
Good, man. Had a kind of a busy day. Had a webinar we did today. We had a couple of Zooms this morning and got a webinar tomorrow. I'll be on Ryan Lee's landscape light secrets. Yeah, doing some training for recruiting and retention and all that good stuff. And going out to dinner. Somebody asked me to go out to dinner tonight. A buddy I haven't seen in a while, so we're going to do that. And
oh hell yeah, where are you going?
I don't. It's somewhere about 20 minutes from where I live. I've never heard of it, and he says it's awesome, and he wants to buy. So I'll be there.
Easy enough.
Yeah. So I'll be there, man. And baseball or softball's over for my daughter, so I thought I'd be like chilling a little bit after hours and everything. And it's still slamming away. We're still going.
It lets you know of all the stuff that you've not been doing because you were doing softball all the time, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And so when you have kiddo sports, like somebody's like, hey, we got to do this. And you're like, I can't make it. And so you think you're going to be like free when kiddo sports wrap up. And then you're like, oh no, there's just the stuff that I turned down every night that I could have also been doing. But instead I just was doing this. Now you're just going to be busy doing something else.
That's exactly what it is. And you would think I'd learn after 3 years, but it's like everything rains out. Like the first couple of weeks of every game is freaking rained out here in Ohio. And then they're just jamming games. So you have like 2 games a week that turns into 6 games every night, Monday through Friday or Saturday. And you can't plan anything around it because whatever I plan, I'm pretty much saying I got to renege on you, dude, because I've got other things I got to do.
Yep. Yeah. Planning can be dangerous.
It is. Yeah, it does take you to the edge sometimes.
Especially when you got kids in sports. Planning is dangerous. We double booked ourselves. Danny, actually, we triple booked ourselves because there's the overlap of like school year stuff going into summer stuff. So we still have Ninja going on, but this will be the second time this week we haven't gone to Ninja because now we got the spring summer sports starting and we got soccer. And with my new business, I kind of like delegated the kiddo sports setup stuff to Marty.
Yeah.
And she went ahead and signed Danny up for softball and soccer. Which is like, I'm all about it as long as like they don't totally conflict. And man, it's like all the games are the same day at the same time. Like, I'm not really sure. Now, I think softball for us goes all the way through summer. Soccer ends at like the end of June. Like there's like a spring-ish soccer season and there's late summer one. So we'll see. We got to decide. But I was harnessing my inner Sean Day at softball the other night, feeling like a ball coach. Mostly, I was like, Danny, did I never teach you how to throw? That was kind of I was like, shit.
I got a good one real quick with my son, with Ryan, when he was in T-ball, man. And he, if you haven't heard me talk about him, he's pretty much like a young Sheldon. He's just like Sheldon brain. That's how he's. I sit down for an hour and talk to this kid when he's 4 or 5 years old. He's 15 now, and just crazy. I don't even know where he comes from. It's awesome. But So he's like playing in the dirt and all this, and he's playing like shortstop or something. And the coach is like, "Right, pay attention out there. You don't want to get hurt." And he's like, "And don't let the ball get by you. Don't let the go." So he comes in. The inning's over, and I'm like, "Dude, you got to pay attention and don't let that ball get by you, buddy." He's like, "That's what I don't get, Dad." I go, "Everybody's yelling. Don't let." That's why I was digging a hole in front of me. So if the ball came to me, it'd go in the hole and not get by me. And this is what do you say to that? That's just what he does. I'm like, it's genius.
Yeah.
I think it was 4. Beautiful, dude.
The shape of his hole's probably gonna change at some point when it kicks up and hits him right in the chin. And you're like,
right.
Oh my god, that hurt so bad. You get a little concussion action going.
Or he steps in it, breaks his ankle.
Maybe both on the same play, right?
Could be. Yeah, that's what would happen.
Stooges style. Joe Devino checking in. What's up, Joe? Joe fishes as much as I want to fish.
Nice.
Like every time I think about fishing, I see a Facebook post from Joe that he's out fishing. And I'm just like, damn, that guy fishes like equally as much as I want to be out fishing.
It's a lot.
He's got both kids in sports. Joe, I think you got this in the wrong order though. You got 3 different businesses plus fishing. I think you should have said both kids in sports, tons of fishing, plus 3 different businesses. I feel like that's really more the order of operations for you. I'm like, as a good thing. I need to rewrite my script and get that. I haven't. Fishing's been open. I got out when I was in San Diego for Clippa for like a day of seasick, but I mean we're 2 weeks into fishing season here and I haven't been out yet. Like I don't know the last time that happened. I think I'm gonna sneak over to Scotty this weekend and get out with my dad for a day. Is the plan? Like I have to. I gotta.
Yeah. It's hard when your kids get a little bit older and they get more commitments, which means you get more commitments. And at the very least, you got to start Ubering around a lot, as they get older too.
Yeah, and I don't mind. And this like surprises me about myself. I don't mind pulling my kids out of school at all to go hunting or fishing, especially. Yeah. It's like life is too short, and never let school get in the way of a good education. I think that
exactly.
Yeah. I forget who that's it's not an Einstein quote. Who's that author? There's an author that wrote that.
Twain.
I think it's Twain. I think it's a Twain quote. But I was like, I mean, my parents were very much like, you got to go to school. You don't. And I like, even in college, I think I missed 1 class. Like I went to the bar plenty. Don't get me wrong. Like it took me 5 years to get out of there. Like I wasn't just in class, but I just never like missed classes. But now when I look back, I'm like, I should have been hunting and fishing more, missing some classes. Definitely. I let school get in the way of a good education. But man, Joe Devino doesn't. That boy's out fishing all the time.
I guess so. Sounds like it.
It's a good thing.
Where's he live at? Where was he out of?
Joe, he's somewhere in the Carolinas. I'm going to say North Carolina, I believe. And he could be north of that or south of that, but he's somewhere on the East Coast, or he could be on the West Coast, but I'm pretty sure he's on the East Coast. My dad and I have a thing where like, we're both in like full agreement on this, which is time spent hunting and fishing doesn't count. Like if you only have so many heartbeats or so many minutes you're on the planet for, time that you spend hunting and fishing never counts against you. Like you have all the memories, but it's as if it never even happened. So you got to spend as much time out there as possible, and then you'd live forever. We're pretty sure. We don't have proof of that, but we're pretty sure that's how it works. At least that's what we tell my mom when she's mad that we went out fishing, and she usually gets more mad that we went to the bar on our way home, but the two kind of go together for a plot of dudes. So
there is something to say though about getting outside and kids and stuff like that with all the video stuff and all the technology that they have. It's just our kids get out pretty good. They're into sports and all that stuff. I took them fishing all the time when they were younger. Now they're kind of on their own a little bit, but we still try to get out. I'd pitch a tent in the backyard just to get them outside. If we couldn't get somewhere, we could be like, what do you guys want to do? All right, well, I don't know what we're going to do. It's kind of getting late. It's even if it was raining, I'm like, let's go pitch a tent in the backyard, man, and just hang out in the backyard and pitch a tent and lay outside, man. We did that all the time.
In the house. Yes. I like it. That's a great idea. Danny the other day was asked, like my kids, every time there's like an outdoor thing, it's really more about the snacks. So if it's hey, we're gonna go like camp in the backyard, it's gonna be about the s'mores.
Right.
And I'm cool with that. I'm cool with like disguising an outdoor activity as a snack.
Absolutely.
I can get down with that. Because every time we go hunting and fishing, like yes, we'll go hunting and fishing, but the triangulation is like hunting and fishing, time with kids, snacks.
Right.
Like snacks is part of the stool. Like it's got to be one of the legs of the stool, or the interest goes down substantially.
Big time. I think it's like a special thing that you can kind of get away with something a little extra that night, you know?
Oh, big time. Big time.
Yeah.
Or at least that's what I tell myself, because I
as you're chowing on s'mores.
and not for me, but like it's a reason to let them go nuts, right?
Yeah.
Like I'll feel stuff. Like if I eat 2 of them, I'm gonna feel like sick.
Right.
Now I'll drink 12 beers instead of that s'more as like a substitute, but it's a good excuse for me to just like let them go nuts on sugar and whatever else they want to do. And not feel like I need to babysit the hell out of it, but I can get them away from screens and sitting inside, right? Sean, let's take Jai, why don't you play us into a little commercial break here? Let's take a commercial break. I want to come back and just get some audience participation here while we're on a commercial break. Drop us some notes about Jai, are you playing music? If you are, it's quiet. Your volume's all the way down.
No, not yet.
Okay. Shoot some notes in. Anybody that's watching, listening, hanging out, shoot some notes in about what's working for you this season so far, what's not working for you this season so far. Sean and I'll get into some stuff we're seeing. We got a little bird's eye view action from where we sit in the world, but would love to hear from you guys. What you're seeing out there, what's working and what's not. We'll be back with a little more home service happy hour right here on Turf Sub Radio. Don't go nowhere.
Landscapers, stop leaving money on the table. Aspire Software maximizes profits and ensures your hard work pays off. Win more business with accurate bids. Manage expenses with real-time job costing. Get live performance updates and improve communication with powerful mobile features. And more. Why settle? You deserve software that works just as hard as you do. Learn more at youraspire.com. That's youraspire.com.
You're listening to Turf's Up Radio, the only radio station of its kind dedicated to the green industry. Now you can even ask Alexa to tune you in when you're home.
How many times have you tried to switch away from gas-powered OPE only to find the power wasn't there and you needed too many batteries to avoid long charge times? Not anymore. Crest commercial landscape tools provide the same level of power and performance as their gas counterparts, but with a revolutionary battery technology. Supported by the Crest Cyber System, the 60-volt CyberPack batteries can charge in 8 minutes or less. Finally, professional landscapers can confidently make the change to battery without sacrificing power, performance, or runtime. Crest, it's the only choice to replace gas. Visit Crest.com.
From the East Coast to the West Coast and around the world, here's to all the women in the green industry. Turf's Up Radio, your industry, your station.
I can hear you. Oh, I even heard myself.
There he is. Almost.
What's up?
It's almost like an animated cartoon type of music. Like I can picture like Charlie Brown or something. I don't know what it is.
It's fast pace though. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You throwing a little sax in there.
Yeah.
What's up, ladies and gents? It's Wednesday. It's home service happy hour day here on Turf's Up Radio for the happy hour show. Clay Davis doing a whole lot of marketing. I like the way you spelled lotta. I like spelling things the way they sound instead of the way that they're spelled. Just makes life a little bit more fun. So I'm glad you spelled it that way, Clay. And I would agree with you because I think I sent Clay a P&L analysis either yesterday or the day before, and I was like, "You guys are investing in some marketing." Clay, if you're with us, drop a note in. I'm curious what's working of it. Are you seeing some certain things in play that are doing more than they've done in the past, or not working as well as they would in the past? I've got some things that I've seen transpiring on the marketing side. I want to hit that a little bit. I want to hit the recruiting side too. It is May 15th. It's like, as we were saying earlier, Sean, it's like balls to the walls. And it's kind of funny in that it's balls to the walls if you're maid service. It's balls to the walls if you're window cleaning. It's balls to the walls if you're sewer and drain cleaning. It's like nobody is slow in May.
Yeah.
It doesn't, industry by industry, doesn't really matter. They're all going nuts. Geographically, doesn't really matter. The only people that are slowing down right now, the industry wise, chimney sweeps.
Really? I guess so. Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense.
But Coach Chad's coaching right now. He never gets to jump on the show anymore. But Coach Chad, he had always said like masonry. Got into masonry, and we would just save those projects till spring and summertime, and then we were able to keep busy in the summertime. So even then, there's some things you can do. But man, May is just nuts, and I'm just curious this year, especially with it being an election year, especially with the economy being weird, and it's just weird in different places. Like it's the most variable feedback that I've gotten on businesses having success or not having success is so far this spring. I just see some people really struggling to get traction, and then some people just going gangbusters. And that's every year. Somebody finds something that's working. Somebody's struggling to get the thing to work that they've done in the past. But this year it's on steroids. Angela and JC, I got a text from JC earlier with the best damn bookkeeping koozie in his hand. He's sitting on a beach in Cancun. So Angela, you said FOMO. Angela wrote FOMO, but I have my koozie at the beach. I don't know if she's saying like FOMO of her not being on the show. I think what's probably more reality, I think that's what she meant.
Yeah.
I think what's more reality is the rest of us have FOMO because, Angela, you're sitting on a beach in Cancun. So I'm pretty sure we're the ones with the FOMO. You should enjoy your still cool drink because it's in a koozie on the beach.
Koozie on the beach. That sounds like it could be something. I don't know what. Koozie on a beach?
Our next sponsor. That could be our
Yes.
next sponsor on
There you
Turns
go.
Up Radio right here. No, I'm curious. I don't know if we still got Clay or not, but I'm curious what people are seeing on the marketing side of things. Sean, before we get to the marketing. Oh, now Clay commented. I'm gonna get back to that one. Hold on, Jai, pull it back down. I'm gonna get back to that one. I want to hit on the recruiting side of it a little. Now let's hit the marketing side. Then we'll come back to the recruiting side. No particular order, but we got Clay's notes. Jai, put it back up. I changed my mind. That's the beauty of being an ADD business owner show host.
Clay's a busy guy, man. If he's got a comment, you better take it now. He's a busy dude.
He could be gone. You got to cover it while he's on it. You got to cover it. Direct mail been performing above average, as well as a couple magazine ads. Google as consistent as usual. That's cool to hear. I think so. Clay, I'm gonna like paraphrase this, and you can chime in if I'm right or wrong. But Clay's got a little bit larger average ticket style business. And what I tend to see when you start getting into direct mail and just print in general, when you have a larger average ticket, those get more reasonable. Whether it's landscape lighting, I've seen them work okay for holiday lights. If you have like a bigger average ticket for holiday lights, they can work okay. Garage floor coatings, they can work well because you're talking like $3,000 to $5,000 a ticket. I'm curious, Sean, I don't know if you ever did them for maid service back in the day.
It was huge.
Maid service could be interesting because like your average ticket is small, but your annual value of a client is $3,000, $3 to $5 if it's a biweekly or weekly client. So there's something to be said about direct mail in some of those places.
You're not going to like what I'm going to say, but it helped my business grow dramatically. like by threefold in about 2 years. And that was, I was doing a lot of barter stuff at the time.
You're right. I'm not going to like that.
I know. Exactly. Here's another reason you're not going to like it, because I was bartering with RSVP. so
Damn.
So it was, and it worked out great. I mean, they would send out, and the RSVP is, you probably have it somewhere. If it's not called that, it's like those
Valpak,
Valpak, but for affluent households. And it was, it was really nicely done. Anyway, it would be a pack of postcards in a package mailed out to, I want to say he mailed it out to like 30,000, man. So we would like go clean his freaking office, which took like an hour and a half every Saturday. And he'd mail out like every 3 months, he'd mail out like 30 or 40,000 of these. And we would get a ton of business, like really, really fast from it. So but to your point, the direct mail really worked well for us in that regard. But that was, that was a little bit different. It was quite a few years ago.
Yeah. That was like 10 years ago.
More than that, probably. Yeah.
Flies.
I've been out of it for 8 years. So it's probably been 15 years ago.
Damn.
Yeah.
I was just talking to a bookkeeping client yesterday that is using RSVP. So it's still alive. It's still alive. Clay mentioned he's fortunate to have an high average ticket. I wouldn't say that's a fortunate thing. I would say like, good job. You're skillful to have a high average ticket. That's a skill, not a fortunate thing, but good job on that. He said he uses Send Jim and is really specific about who he's sending it to, which I think that's so much of it, right? Like sending anything out in the mailbox can just fall on just irrelevant eyeballs so often.
I got a question. I don't know if it's for you or Clay or what you guys hear, but with Google, is it mainly business to consumer, right? You're not really doing a lot of B2B type of Google ads, or are you? I don't know.
I mean, there's less clients out there, right? Like the amount of residences versus the amount of businesses is substantially different.
Yeah.
But like in our businesses, especially like window cleaning and pressure washing, we get plenty of commercial stuff and like property managers that would still Google, right? If it's a 1 out of 100 ratio, the Google clicks would also be 1 out of 100. Like it's still 99 to 1 clicks of residences, but they're going to go research you on Google and go to your website just like a residential client would. So there's still some value in it, but it also does tend to be in that space, similar to like residences. Referrals are super valuable, right?
Right.
And people are in Facebook groups and Nextdoor and this and that. And so you're feeding a lot off of referrals. In commercial, I don't think you get as many referrals. Like it's just not as prevalent. You get some in like BNI spaces and stuff like that. But I think that's where doing more direct, like dialing / like going in and dropping off some donuts and doing like presentations in offices. Like I think on the commercial space, there's a little more salesmanship, if you will, to like go in and get the right decision maker.
For sure.
Like it's no stranger who the decision maker is in a household usually. Like you can tell pretty quick. It's a little different when you're selling commercial stuff. And so I think Google can still work just as well. But Clay said we do almost no commercial. Google leads are almost exclusively residential homeowners. And Clay's doing like pavers and ceiling stuff. And so there's not going to be a lot of commercial in that space.
Right.
I've never targeted or know anybody that's targeted commercial with mailers either. Not to say that it couldn't be done, but it would just be hard to get to the decision maker. Like it's going to get to the front desk and the front desk is going to throw it away.
Yeah, that's junk mail for sure. Real junk mail.
Yep. And so
what about Facebook, man? What's going on with Facebook? What are you hearing about that?
It's actually what I run into a lot of times is that it just works way better for higher average tickets. Lighting stuff, it can work well. Garage floor coatings, it can work well. Different route style businesses, it can work well.
Yeah.
But I don't, the cost can be prohibitive for window cleaning and pressure washing and other spaces like that. Not to say nobody's figured it out and can't do it, but way more people are having better results doing yard signs and flyers and simple stuff and Google ads and stuff like that. I see Facebook more and more and more with clients that have higher average tickets where it's like an awareness marketing thing. Like there needs to be a visual aspect to it. It needs to look pretty, and it needs to trigger the right type of customer to be like, oh, I do need that. Clay said all of our B2B work has come from referrals or just basic networking with other industries. And I think the B2B stuff is just like, you got to go out and make it happen. It's a network thing. Like if it is you're not getting a referral from the neighbor, you're getting a referral from like a relationship. And so it's just it's a long tail relationship building thing. And they'll still go check out your Google and your website, right? Hell, they'll probably even click on it because people just don't think to not click the thing that says sponsored ad. But hopefully they at least searched for you first, and so the ad click is cheaper.
Right.
But I am seeing on that marketing side, since we're on that track, I'm seeing a little bit of a shift. And Gregory talked about, I don't remember if it was last week or if this was just he and I in person, but Michael from Click Call Sell had said Google ads like getting a little bit worse in different pockets, and local service ads getting a little bit better in different pockets. And I think it was last week where he said, if you put a gun to my head and I just had to pick one or the other, I would do local service ads, just because you don't need to pay somebody to do it for you. You can just get them going, and you can control the lead cost. You might not get a ton, but you're in control of the lead cost. In Google ads can be a slippery slope. Like when you really take into account the full cost of, first, I would say like pay somebody else to do them. If you're a business owner, like don't be an expert in doing Google ads, just like you shouldn't be an expert in doing your bookkeeping, just like you shouldn't be an expert in running your recruiting funnel. Like there's just things that people have figured out that it's just easier and more efficient to pay somebody else to do it. And so when it comes to Google ads, the efficiency of it has to be that you get enough clicks to cover the cost of who you're paying to do them. And if you're only investing like $500 a month, like you probably shouldn't play there, because you're going to pay somebody $500 a month to run them, and then half of your spend is just in the person you're paying to do it. Like if you're paying somebody $500, you should be running $3,000 to $5,000 through Google ads, not $500 a month through Google ads. So that's a great reason to use like LSA, and you would use that first. Let's do this, Sean Day. Let's hit a commercial break and come back with a little more on the labor market side of it, what we're seeing, and how people should be thinking a little bit differently. I feel like there's a lot of the market's different. There's still a lot of value to be added, but I see people still like screwing it up, which always blows my mind, because I feel like you and I have been talking about this for like 5 years now, and I don't know how anybody's left that doesn't know what's going on. Let's talk about it. We'll be back with a little more home service happy hour right here on Turf Up Radio. Don't go away.
Get ready to abandon gas with Crest Commercial. With insane power and extreme longevity, the era of batteries trailing behind gas engines is over. With the Crest revolutionary 8-minute cyber system, Crest Commercial landscape tools provide the same power and performance as their gas-powered counterparts, as much as a 2-stroke engine. Plus, the Crest 60-volt CyberPack batteries charge in 8 minutes or less. Professional landscapers can finally make the switch to battery without sacrificing performance, power, or runtime. Crest, it's the only choice to replace gas. For more information or to find a dealer near you, visit Crest.com.
Creating art from darkness. For over 20 years, Cast Lighting has designed and manufactured the world's most durable, energy-efficient, and technically advanced landscape lighting products available at astonishingly affordable prices. Cast offers an all-encompassing line of products with everything you need to get the job done. Cast Landscape, their most durable product, is best-in-class, low-voltage landscape lighting made of solid bronze with integrated and drop-in LED technology. These fixtures are built to endure the most demanding environments. Source Lighting, a new division by Cast, is your source for professional grand landscape lighting made of durable brass, offering both integrated and drop-in LED technology, and backed by Cast, the world's most durable outdoor lighting. Cast Lighting gives you innovative, state-of-the-art, old-world craftsmanship with tomorrow's technology. Visit their website at cast-lighting.com today. That's cast-lighting.com.
Having issues with your maintenance schedule? Want better routing and ability to track your vehicles when they leave the shop? Do you want to reduce your liability exposure with your vehicles that are moving billboards on the road? GPS Fleet Consulting uses cloud-based dashcam monitoring and can easily track your vehicle maintenance using real odometer readings. GPS Fleet Consulting can also assist you with live phone support and email support with guaranteed same-day responses. Yes, same-day responses. Stop wondering where your trucks are and start managing your fleet with GPS Fleet Management Systems. For more information, visit gpsfleetconsulting.com. That's gpsfleetconsulting.com.
From the East Coast to the West Coast and around the world, no one rocks like Turfs Up Radio. Turfs Up Radio, your industry, your station.
Oh, baby. We're back. A little more home service happy already on Turfs Up Radio. What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. Ron, can I give you a hard time for a second?
Yeah.
When you comment in StreamYard, nobody sees it.
How do you?
I saw he wrote that, and I was like, I don't know if Sean realizes it, but the only place that went is to your YouTube channel.
Well, somebody might see it.
Somebody might see it. They're going to be like, who the fuck is this play guy that Sean's talking to?
If you're there, ring the bell.
That's it. That's it.
Die, baby.
Ring that bell, baby. Oh, man. I do. That is the thing that annoys me about StreamYard, though. I don't know how they would. There's probably like some weird technology person that could figure it out. But if you could, when we're on here, it'd be nice if we could comment back people's comments right through StreamYard, because otherwise you got to go into the Facebook, and like we're in two different places in Facebook and we're in two different YouTube channels right now. And so, like, how would you even? You'd have to be in all of them on your phone to be like go in there and comment on them.
Yeah.
And I think even like if I post a comment in here, I think it would go to the Home Service Happy Hour YouTube channel. Is where I think it would go. Annoyances. So here's the thing, Sean Day, which leads me to the recruiting segment of the show, which is you can do all the marketing that you want to do, but if you don't have a great team, fuck it. Like business sucks, and having a bunch
another
of
good title.
yeah. Like it's just not worth selling more stuff into a business that sucks at executing it. And like, I'm just going to say this generically, but we've all been there, right? We've all had clients on the sidelines or lost clients because our employees couldn't deliver it. And usually it's because we dumpster hired or we didn't spend enough time setting the right expectations with the clients or with the employees. And they just weren't capable of delivering what was in our heads because it turns out nobody could read our minds. It's making me think a lot about my marriage right now. I got to get way better at that. But I think if you're spending a bunch of money on marketing, it all is for naught unless you have the best employees in the world. And this might have been on last week's show. I just remember, or this was on a meeting you and I had with Michael when we were talking higher lead chill stuff. He was like, oh, we just lost this marketing client because they can't hire employees. And it's like, with the labor market the way that it is, if you haven't learned anything about recruiting and hiring over the last 3 years, that would help you, like, that would cause you to just not totally crush the market right now from a recruiting perspective. Where the fuck have you been? Like, the last 3 years was brutal. This year is like a Christmas present. It's not what it used to be 10 years ago, but recruiting this year compared to the last 3 years is just night and day, it seems like. I'll hit some anecdotes about that. But I also don't think it changes the need to scrutinize and recruit really well. Like, just because it's easy doesn't mean that you should slough off on it and do it half-assed. I think there's actually more of a reason to be really good at it now than even when the labor market was really tough. Before I get into that, Sean, give us a little, like, high level what you're seeing labor market wise right now.
Yeah, it's definitely starting to soften up because, well, for a number of reasons, but mainly on a high level, we've been lingering around 3.4, 3.5% for a long time, maybe 3.6% for a couple of years. We're up hitting the ceiling of 4%. And I've said for years, if we ever can get back to that sort of 4% range, we're going to start to see some really loosening of the app and more fluid application flow, and people are going to start to come to the market. So that's what we're seeing. What I'm starting to see is the application flow become a little bit better, and people bringing it back in house a little bit than using higher lead chill. And we're not like losing a lot of clients. We had one yesterday that said, we're going to bring it in house. It's a little easier getting applications now, so we think we can handle it on Indeed, and some other things. You guys did, she did say we did really good in this and that and the other, but it's just easier, and we think we can get it done on Indeed. Number one, Indeed changes about every other week, so it's hard to get it done on Indeed. I don't know why you would want 300 applicants coming in or 200 applicants coming in and spending time going through resumes to find out where the good ones are. And so I think, to your point, Dan, yep, it's loosening up a little bit, but I don't know why we treat recruiting like the redheaded stepchild. I mean, it's I know our ego loves talking about revenue and marketing and how many clients we have and, all that stuff. We have no problem throwing $3,000 a month into that. But, why are we not doing that and thinking that with the other end of the equation on the labor side of this thing, man, on the capacity side? Because I'll tell you right now, I am convinced, and I know this for a fact, if you figure out the employment side of your business, you will be much more profitable. You will sleep much better at night. Isn't that what we all want? I mean, literally, I don't give a shit what you do with your marketing. I don't care about your customers. You figure that part out and focus on that part every single day, big time, you're going to win in this game.
So the business gets so much easier to run when you know that every time you send people out, they're going to do a phenomenal job and you're going to get a shitload of referrals and you don't need to babysit them. And when you know who's going to show up that day.
Yep.
And if you don't know with 100% certainty that all of your employees are showing up that day, and if you don't know with 100% certainty that every client that experiences your employees is, even if they don't do a great job, what the ones I'm talking about, where they like the customer's afraid to even say that, hey, they left a streak on my window, or they left this carpet I don't think they got this carpet. Like, the employees are so awesome that the customers are just like, oh man, I don't even want, they're just such a great person, right? Like, if your employees that screw up aren't at that level where the customer is enthralled with them, then what's the point of running your business? Right. You're miserable. Go get a job. You shouldn't be a business owner if that's the type of business you're stuck running. Don't allow yourself to be miserable in that spot where you don't know that your employees are going to do an awesome job and that they're going to show up tomorrow. Don't fall into that trap. If you're falling into that trap, change it or sell your business and go get a job again. It's just that. Yeah. It's that simple to me. If you haven't figured this out by now, that sucks for you. Go figure it out or get the hell out of your business. You don't deserve to run a business with shitty employees. You just don't.
Yeah,
There's no time for that. Life is too short.
Crazy. I hear a lot of times people are just kind of you go to Indeed, you post a job, you get this, and you hire, and then there's this problem. Then there's a problem. It's like, you need to think of longer term strategies too. So we're slammed right now. So I get that. But when you if you slow down in the summer and you're a business that slows down a little bit in the summer, you need to start thinking of longer term strategies. And we've got 2 or 3 long term strategies. One of them is, I highly recommend getting a CRM or using a current CRM that you have for your candidate side. You got a customer relationship management tool. You should have a candidate relationship manager tool. Everything is the same, man. Marketing, recruiting. You've got to set up some automation to touch and build relationships with candidates that you're thinking of hiring in 6 months from now. If you're in Christmas lights, man, you better be. I don't know, for the life of me, I hear everybody pounding away on marketing for Christmas lights. they're not starting to recruit yet. I just don't get that for the life of me. It's time. Build that relationship, let people know who you are, and eventually, like you, Dan, you're going to have 30 interviews, you're going to hire 5 people, and you're going to have 6 people waiting to work for you because you're talking to them about your business and you're getting them excited about the business. It's a sales relationship that you're doing there, and it's the biggest sale of your life.
I have so I've got I think 11 people now still in my hopper, and I know the next one. She messages me on LinkedIn all the time. She's probably gonna listen to this episode.
Yep.
Like, we stay in touch, and it's so important to maintain that relationship and know who your people are.
Yep.
Right? There's no, just like you shouldn't. People do, and then they always regret it. You shouldn't stop marketing when things are fast, because they will slow down, and you're going to want clients when they slow down. Like, never stop marketing. And the same goes on the employee side. Like, just never stop recruiting. You're never going to regret meeting somebody awesome. And yeah, you might not be able to hire them right now. That's fine. That is not detrimental at all. What is detrimental is not knowing who you're going to hire when you need somebody. Yep. You should have a list. I have a list of 11 right now of people that I want to hire for the next opening.
That you've interviewed, that you build a relationship with, all that stuff.
Already through. Yep. And when it gets below 10, I'll start interviewing again, like, aggressively. I put it on the back burner for now because I was like, at some point, like, when you're over 10, you're never going to get to the bottom of the list, right? Like, if you kind of like rank them and who you want first, like, you're never going to find your way to the bottom of the list once you're over 10, because there's just going to be people in front of them. And that's good. Like, you need good competition. You need to have the best people in the world. You have to.
One thing, Dan, too, real quick, because I think sometimes people get confused on why would I interview if I can't hire. Most of these people, if not all of them, have a job right now. It's not like they don't have a job and they're going to go get something somewhere else because they're unemployed. They have a job, so they can wait 2 weeks or a month as long as you're engaging with them. So I don't think people think about that enough. You know what I mean?
Yep. Jason hit it on the head. It's like a 10 millimeter socket. You need a 10. You don't need a 9. You don't need an 11. Find them and pay them. He said, train them and give them a way to win every day. I even with our account managers, I'm really stingy on, like, they have to have the upside.
Yeah.
Right. I think in the home service industry, a lot of us have transitioned to performance-based pay. Again, if you haven't, what the F? Like, figure it out. If you don't know how to do it, like, ask one of the millions of people that have figured it out, and somebody will teach you how to do it. You got to figure out performance-based pay. You got to give them the upside. You got to reward them. And as a nerdy bookkeeper, you got to protect your margins. But as Jason says here, I don't know what the re is before the word recruiting. I'm not sure what re means, but I know what cruiting means. Always beat cruiting. It's just not, I just don't know how many times I can hammer this home, you guys, but, like, just don't settle for a team where you don't know if they're going to show up tomorrow and you don't know if they're going to do an awesome job tomorrow. If that's what's happening, you are not recruiting well enough, and you haven't listened to Sean and I well enough. As far as the person that you were just talking about, that's like, hey, I think we can take this in-house. And I don't need to tell you this, Sean, but I need to tell that person this if and when they hear this episode, and anybody else that's listening that's like, oh, application flow has eased up, and therefore I think I got this. Fucking wrong. Like, now is the time where you need the person to filter all of those people. And it always takes me back, and I'm just always a dead horse with this story. I remember when we started our Blue Skies recruiting business, and the gal's name was Jamie, spelled Ayme, and I still remember it because she bashed us on Facebook. Like, and we were making fun of her. I remember, like, making fun of her, and Jonathan Maynard even came in and, like, replied to it and gave her a really hard time on our behalf. Thank you, Jonathan Maynard. Sent that guy a crappie in the mail the other day. I finally got him his
nice. That's awesome. Such a good dude.
Jamie, I don't remember what her last name was, but Jamie, you were totally right. We sent her 300 some applicants, and she was ahead of her time. She was like, I mean, she totally was, right? She's just like, what am I going to do with this, you guys? This sucks. I have all these applicants, and they're from Indeed. And some are going to be from the wrong location. Some aren't going to speak English. Some aren't going to be what they said they were. And so we know like data says that like 1 out of 100 Indeed applications is like going to be a good employee for you. And so in what world are you like, yeah, I want to bring that back in house and I want to figure out which one of these, like I got 300 because that's probably what you're going to need. I got these 300 and I would love to sort through these. That seems like a thing that I want to do internally here. Like what's the Family Feud? Just like, just don't. I mean, like people have figured out how to filter these, and that's what Hire Lead Chill is for.
Yep.
You got to have a system to like process these things. And the looser the labor market gets, here's what this is like tactic versus strategy, Sean. And again, I'm just like telling you, but I'm talking to everybody besides you, which is it's easy to be like, oh shit, recruiting is really hard right now. I need a recruiting service. That was the last 3 years, right? I need a recruiting service. The labor market is hard. I don't even know how to find people.
Yeah.
And then we just get lazy because we're like, oh, the recruiting market softened up and now I can find people. And so I got this. And it turns tactical.
Yes.
But we forget that we deserve the best employees in the world, not just some shithead that showed up and like was a dumpster hire. And that's what happens right now is the labor market loosens up and you're like, oh, I can take this back internally. And then you're going to hire whoever shows up and tells you what you want to hear in your crappy interview setup because you're not doing group interviews like Sean and I told you to do. You're doing one-on-one interviews. You hire the wrong person. And then you complain that nobody shows up and wants to work hard anymore. And somehow it's their fault, not your fault.
Right. The other thing that happens is too with this, and by the way, we've had more than just this person yesterday, but we've had 90% of them come back already. Because
of course. They're like, oh shit, just kidding.
Yeah. Listen, so you get 100 applications or 200 applications, and I get that. But number one, what are you paying somebody an hour to go through 200 applications? Number one. Number two, you're looking to hire 3-4 people tops. Okay. What if it's like the number 150th, 160th, 180th? By the time you get through all those resumes and look through all that shit, one of two things will happen. One is you're going to get set up doing it. So you're going to start to hire anybody that's next on the list and you do this mentally because you're getting urgently. First, you hate it because it sucks doing it. Second, now you're getting into an urgent area where you really need to get somebody hired.
Yeah, you need somebody yesterday.
When you fool yourself in believing that this next resume or two, boy, these look really good. I think I'll hire these. And you don't hire the right person. Now, if you can get through them quick or you get 2 or 3 people working on it, number one, I don't know why you'd spend that money doing that. But number two, by the time you still get through to those people, if you're not getting back to them instantly when they apply, they're going to be interviewing by the time you get to them, and you're going to have job offers by the time you interview them.
Yeah, you're going to miss out on all the good ones because the good ones get hired within a day.
Because they're smart and they know what they want.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think one of the most brilliant things at Hire Lead Chill is a customer of Hire Lead Chill, my bookkeeping business, right? I pay $147 a month and I keep all my data. And I stay in touch with all of my applicants. I think we have like 400 people in my system right now. And like I said, 400 people, I hired 3 of them already, like through the process. And then I think I'm at 11 in my hopper. So 400 people and less than 15 are people that I want to hire. And like I said, even at the bottom of that list, they're never going to end up getting hired because I'm going to start recruiting again and interviewing again. And I'm just never going to settle. I'm never going to have somebody that I even have a question mark of, are they amazing or not? Like there's just, if there's a slight question mark, they're gone and I'm going to replace them immediately with somebody that I don't have a question mark on. Right. If behaviors change and they're not what I thought they were, I've got a whole bench full of people ready to go that are like wanting to come work here and want the opportunity. Right. And if you don't have people knocking down your door to come work for you, then your recruiting system sucks. Like that's the system that you need. You need to have a line out your door of people that want to come work for you. And if you don't have that, you're just going to end up hiring somebody from a shitty resume and shitty interview that you did because you thought you'd do it yourself and take it in-house. And it's just so funny to me. It's like, again, I get what would lead somebody down that path of like labor market loosened up. I got this. there's so many more people now. I don't need your help. Before I was just in a panic. So I hired your service in a panic of I can't find employees.
Yep.
Now I can find them. And so I'm going to do a really shitty job of finding them myself. And then I'm going to come back to you when I realize now I just have a team full of 10 shitty employees and I complain about them all day. And I'm the idiot posting on Facebook about how nobody wants to work anymore and you can't get anybody to show up and everybody's entitled and wants, like, no kidding. Because you did a stupid thing and you took it back in house into a shitty system and you got a shitty result. And somehow you're blaming the labor force for you being really bad at recruiting. Go hire a recruiting system, hire lead chill. Let them take care of it. Let them do
And there's not a hell of a lot of automation in Indeed. And you've been in Indeed. You've gone there before in the past, and it sucks being in there, and it's hard to manage all those. There's no real automations where things are you got to click 5 times before you see a resume. All this stuff. It's a lot easier. It's a lot more actually fun in our system because it's like drop drag over here. Who are you? Oh, nope, don't like that one. But we do most of that automatically. But when you get your hopper, it's a lot more fun engaging with really good people that you kind of are excited about. You've got those that excitement, and they're good, and you've talked to them, and you've built the relationship. That makes a hell of a lot. It's a hell of a lot easier to sleep at night, man. It just is.
And it's just like, if you're running this business, make it as fun as possible.
Yeah.
You could, like, if you don't, then you're just your own victim, right? If you're the one complaining about employees and that you can't scale, and that just cracks me up. The one dude that's like, I got to stop marketing because I can't find employees. It's like, dude, what like ass is your head up?
Hundreds of thousands of dollars. I don't want $10,000 bills. Thank you very much. No.
It's just like, what, like, how can you say that and not just immediately be like, oh shit, I need to find a good recruiting service?
Yes.
Like, in what world do you throw in the towel of your sales system because you can't figure out how to hire employees, especially in this labor market? Again, like, I wouldn't recommend taking it internal. I would recommend, like, even me, who's like, I'd say I don't know if I'm an expert, but I'm pretty damn close to being an expert on the labor market just because I get to hang out with you a lot. And like, we built a business together. Even I hire it out. Like, it's kind of, so it reminds me of like, I studied the CFA program for 3 years, financial analyst designation. Like, I am qualified to go work on Wall Street and be that hedge fund manager. That could have been a career path I took. What I learned was, I don't want to do this shit myself, right? Like, I could be picking stocks and doing Bitcoin and fucking investing in this and investing in that. And I was smart enough to know, no, that's just a huge waste of time. And like, it's not worth my time. It's not worth I'm going to hire somebody else to do that shit for me. Yep. Like, that's not worth me doing. There's other shit that I could be doing. I should be out with Joe Devanell fishing is what I should be doing. Like, I don't want to be playing around in the stock market, doing all this bullshit stuff. Not worth my time. I should be out fishing. I should be making this show, hanging out with Sean. The same reason that you shouldn't be trying to run your own recruiting system. You should just hire somebody that does a really good job. Let's end it on that, Sean. We got to wrap this baby up. Play us out, Jai. Business nerds, thank you guys for hanging out with us. Jason Hepburn says, you come to a point fairly quickly that can't make more money without employees. And that's just it. You can't scale this business without humans. We are in the service industry, and it's called that for a reason. It takes humans to do the thing. Just don't sell it short. Get the best ones. Get them. They're out there, but everybody else is trying to get them too. So you got to be the best at recruiting. And like I said, it makes the marketing so much easier if you're really good at it. I'll stop ranting at you, Sean. Thanks for hanging out, man. I appreciate you, dude.
All the time, man. Love you.
Who do I got? Let me see before we sign her off here. Who do I got on the show tonight? I gotta check and see. I didn't even look at the schedule. Oh, I got Ashley from One Love Social coming on tonight. Ashley Bissing's going to be in the house. I bet we'll have a couple cocktails. I bet Ashley and I. All right, y'all. Be good. We'll see you tonight. You guys know what to do. Work harder and harder. Go earn some pride. Peace.